He's still the star attraction in the National Basketball Association. He's still great at the age of 39, approaching the age of 40.
You know that big LeBron and Bronny moment everyone's talking about? Well, get ready for a shocker. It's not the heartwarming father-son story we thought it was. In fact, it might be the biggest fraud in NBA history. Imagine this. A staged event masquerading as a real sports milestone. That's what we're dealing with here, folks. And you won't believe how it stacks up against genuine legends like the Griffies. We're about to expose the truth behind this overhyped spectacle.
For him to want to play in the NBA with his son, listen, it's LeBron James. He genuinely deserves that.
You know what's wild? This father-son NBA thing isn't exactly breaking new ground. We've seen it before, but the way they're hyping up this LeBron-Bronny moment, it's on a whole other level. Let's talk about how the NBA's pushing this. They're going absolutely crazy with the promotion. It's like they've discovered the eighth wonder of the world or something. Commercials, social media blasts, special segments. You name it, they're doing it. They've got everyone from former players to celebrities weighing in on this historic moment.
Understand that this is about LeBron James. This isn't even about Bronny James, believe it or not. It's about LeBron. He definitely is underpaid, all right? Because he deserves more money than the Lakers or any other NBA franchise can give him.
But here's the thing. Is it really that special? I mean, we've seen father-son duos in sports before, right? The Mannings in football, the Hulls in hockey, and of course, the Griffeys in baseball. It's not like LeBron and Bronny invented this concept. Imagine this. The NBA's marketing team is working overtime, churning out promo after promo. It's like they're trying to convince us this is the second coming of basketball or something. They've got highlight reels of LeBron's career mixed with Bronny's high school dunks, set to epic music. It's so over the top. It's almost laughable. You won't believe the comparisons they're making. They're putting this moment up there with some of the greatest in sports history. They're talking about it like it's Michael Jordan's The Shot or Kobe's 81-point game. It's insane. They're even bringing up stuff like Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. Talk about reaching. But wait, it gets even crazier. They've somehow roped the Griffies into this whole spectacle. Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. are actually flying in to watch the game. That's wild. It's like they're trying to get the stamp of approval from the OG father-son duo. But doesn't that feel a bit forced to you? The NBA's hype machine is working overtime, turning this into a WWE-style spectacle rather than an authentic sports moment. It's all smoke and mirrors, folks. They're manufacturing drama, creating storylines, and trying to script a perfect moment. But here's the thing. Real sports moments, the ones we truly remember, they happen organically. They're not planned out in a marketing meeting. Speaking of authenticity, let's talk about how Bronny actually got here. Because when you start digging into that, things get even more interesting. All right, let's get real for a second. Bronny James, the 55th pick in the NBA draft. That number's got people raising eyebrows. And for good reason. How does a guy with a last name like James end up so low on the draft board? There's gotta be more to this story. Let's break down Bronny's college career at USC. Was he really standout material? I mean, we're talking about the son of LeBron James here. You'd expect him to be dominating the court, right? But when you look at his stats, it's not exactly mind-blowing stuff. He wasn't putting up numbers that would make NBA scouts sit up and take notice. Now, imagine you're an NBA scout. You're sifting through piles of player stats, watching hours of game footage, looking for that diamond in the rough. You come across Bronny's USC numbers. Would you even give them a second glance if his last name wasn't James? It's a tough question, but one we've got to ask. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some people are saying, and this is wild, that Bronny wouldn't even be in the NBA if it wasn't for his dad. That's a huge claim. But when you look at his college performance and that 55th pick, you start to wonder, is there some truth to it? But hold on, it gets even crazier. There's talk going around that LeBron might have had a say in Bronny's draft pick. Can you believe that? The idea that a player, even one as legendary as LeBron, could influence the draft like that? It's unheard of. If it's true, we're talking about a whole new level of nepotism in sports. Let's put this in perspective. Think about other players who've been 55th picks in the past. Many of them had way more impressive college careers than Bronny. Some of them never even made it to the NBA floor. So how did Bronny land this spot? It's a question that's got a lot of people talking. The whole situation raises some serious questions about the integrity of the NBA draft process. Are we seeing star power and family connections trump actual on-court performance? It's a slippery slope, folks. If this is how things are going down, what does it mean for all the other talented players out there grinding away, hoping for their shot? Bronny's selection as the 55th pick isn't just about one player getting drafted. It's opening up a can of worms about nepotism, the true merit of NBA positions, and how much influence star players might have behind the scenes. It's got us all wondering, is this really how we want our sports to work? Now, let's talk about how this whole situation compares to real legends like the Griffies, because when you start looking at authentic father-son duos in sports, things get even more interesting. Imagine a father-son duo so legendary, they're showing up to watch LeBron and Bronny play. That's right, the Griffies are in the house. But here's the kicker. Their presence might actually highlight everything that's wrong with the James family's NBA moment. So we've got the Griffies and the James, two father-son duos in pro sports. But man, are they different? Let's start with Ken Griffey Jr. This guy was an absolute beast. We're talking 13 All-Star selections, 10 Gold Glove Awards, and 7 Silver Slugger Awards. He wasn't just good, he was in the same conversation as legends like Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron. That's insane. Now, think about Ken Griffey Sr. He wasn't just riding his son's coattails. The dude had a solid 19-year career of his own. He was part of the Cincinnati Reds' Big Red Machine, for crying out loud. Two-time All-Star, solid batting average. Senior could hold his own on the field. Here's where it gets wild. When the Griffies played together for the Seattle Mariners in 1990, it was totally organic. No one orchestrated that moment. It just happened, and everyone loved it. The fans, the media, they all went crazy for this authentic father-son achievement. It was like watching baseball history unfold right before our eyes. But with LeBron and Bronny, it's like watching a movie where you can see the strings. Everything feels so manufactured, so scripted. It's like the NBA's marketing team sat down and said, how can we milk this for all it's worth? The hype, the constant coverage, the way they're framing this as some sort of historic moment, it all feels forced. You know what's even crazier? The Griffies are actually showing up to this game. It's like they're giving their stamp of approval to this whole spectacle. But doesn't that just make the contrast even starker? On one side, you've got this genuine, organic moment in sports history. On the other, you've got what feels like a carefully orchestrated PR stunt. The public ate up the Griffeys' story. It was celebrated as this amazing milestone in baseball. But with LeBron and Bronny, people are skeptical. They're questioning the authenticity. They're wondering if this is more about nepotism than actual talent. When you put these two stories side by side, it's like night and day. The Griffies represent everything we love about sports. True talent, hard work, and those magical moments that just happen. The James duo? It's starting to feel more like a reality TV show than a genuine sports achievement. So, what does this say about where sports are heading? Are we moving away from authentic moments and towards manufactured spectacles? It's a scary thought, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, isn't that what makes sports so great? Those real, unscripted moments of greatness? Speaking of manufactured, let's talk about how this whole thing feels like a WWE event. Because the more you look at it, the more you start to see some eerie similarities. Remember when sports were just about the game? Well, forget all that. The NBA is entering its reality TV era, and the LeBron-Bronny saga is the pilot episode. But here's the real kicker. This might be more scripted than your favorite wrestling match. Let's break it down. Picture this. You're watching an NBA game, but suddenly it feels like you've switched channels to WWE. That's exactly what's happening with this LeBron-Bronny spectacle. It's like Vince McMahon himself wrote the script for this father-son drama. You've got all the elements of a perfect wrestling storyline. LeBron's the main event star, the seasoned veteran who's seen it all. Bronny is the up-and-coming talent trying to step out of his father's shadow. And the story? A father and son playing together in the NBA for the first time? It's almost too perfect. But here's where things get tricky. In WWE, we all know it's scripted. It's part of the fun. But in the NBA, we expect real competition. We want to believe that what we're seeing is authentic, that the games aren't predetermined. So when the lines start to blur, it leaves us feeling a bit uneasy. Imagine the NBA as one big reality show. How much of what we're seeing is real, and how much is just for show? Are player trades made for basketball reasons or to create more drama? Are certain matchups hyped up not because they're crucial games, but because they'll bring in more viewers? You won't believe how similar some of these NBA moments are to wrestling storylines. The rivalries, the reconciliations, the unexpected team-ups. It's all there. And with social media thrown into the mix, it's like we're getting a 24/7 behind-the-scenes look at a show that never stops. This LeBron-Bronny moment isn't just about a father and son playing together. It represents a massive shift in sports. The line between authentic competition and scripted entertainment is getting blurrier by the day. And it's not just the NBA. This trend is creeping into other sports too. So what does all this mean for the future of sports? Are we heading towards a world where athletic skill takes a backseat to storytelling ability? Where the drama off the court is more important than the game on it? It's a wild thought, but the way things are going, it might not be as far-fetched as we'd like to believe. As fans, we're left with a choice. Do we embrace this new era of sports entertainment with all its drama and spectacle? Or do we push back, demanding a return to pure athletic competition? Whatever we decide. One thing's for sure, the game is changing, both on and off the court. All right, let's wrap this up. We've seen how the LeBron Bronny moment is more spectacle than sport. But what does it all mean? Is this the future of basketball? Or are we witnessing the slow death of authentic competition? Here's the thing, sports are evolving, and fast. It's not just about who scores the most points anymore. Now, it's about who can create the biggest buzz, most viral moment, the best storyline. The game's becoming secondary to the drama surrounding it. So next time you're watching a game, take a step back. Ask yourself, is what I'm seeing real? Or is it just another carefully crafted narrative? Because in this new world of sports entertainment, the line between genuine competition and scripted drama is getting thinner by the day.